All right, hey again, everyone. Channel Futures Editorial Director Craig Galbraith here. Time for another edition of Channel Futures TV. Today, we welcome in Mike Fouts. Mike is Vice President of Global Service Providers with Citrix. Mike, good to see you again.
Hey, Craig. It's good to see you as well. Thanks for having me again.
Well, thanks for being here. So, Mike, let's start by talking about the type of strategy that channel partners need to be thinking about going into 2023.
That's a great way to start, Craig. And I think the advice I would give channel partners is, as you move into the new year, I want you to think about things like ARR and how do I support annual recurring revenue, and what's my business model need to shift to, and what does that mean for consumption, and then how do I transform my business and pay people and drive incentives and get them excited about selling that. So I think it's a new world that is consumption-based and utility-based.
So I guess that raises a question then, how do channel partners plan for success in today's virtual world?
Yeah, I think the first thing you do if you're a partner is make sure you understand how to monetize an offering versus a product. Those are two very different things. And selling a product versus monetizing an offering looks different. You sell it differently. You use different words with the customer. So I think that's the starting point for this. And then I think how you value or how you communicate value in that consumption model or whatever your as a service offering is also critically important.
All right, Mike. So hybrid work, obviously something that everybody's talking about these days as we sort of come out of the pandemic. What's Citrix's philosophy? Where do you fit in there with your solutions?
Yeah, hybrid work and this whole return to office is a really big thing out there, right? With, I think, everybody. And so I think what we really talk to partners about there, first and foremost, is security. How do you create an environment that is secure so that people can work anywhere and can be anywhere they need to be as they come back to the office or as they split time between the office and maybe customer sites? So I think that scalable, on-demand, secure environment is what our partners are trying to create for customers. And then I think we should reflect as a partner and a vendor on a lot of the lessons we've learned and how we do that. And Citrix has a lot of high value solutions that fit perfectly in there that allow you to deliver, to manage, to monitor, and secure an entire end-to-end solution for your customers.
All right, good stuff, Mike. So we can't talk about the coming year without touching on the potential for a recession. I hate to bring it up, but what do channel partners need to do to prepare for that if that comes?
Well, aside from what my dad would tell me, which is save your money for a rainy day, that's the first thing, right? But in all seriousness, I think it's a reason really to accelerate the business model. And the reason I say that is things like recurring revenue. That'll build a floor and a foundation of revenue that's going to help you weather that storm. It's not such a choppy motion that you have in your revenue stream. I think it's also going to create flexibility in what you can do with your customers. And customers are going to face the same thing that we as a vendor and our channel partners will, which is they're going to need flexibility for cash flow and other things. And if you're a partner and you can offer that flexibility and that utility and consumption-based model, I think it aligns perfectly to get you through this recession until we start back on the upswing.
All right, very good advice. So speaking of advice, if you had one single piece of advice to give the channel, what would that be?
I think the piece of advice I would give you is don't wait. Too often, we get a little bit frozen or a little bit paralyzed with making the decision. And I would encourage everybody to get started in it. Your ability to accelerate and move to this model is going to drive growth. It's going to allow you to get into emerging technologies and acquire net new customers, which I think is going to be critical as we go through the next 18 months.
Mike, great stuff as always. Thanks for getting us caught up on Citrix, offering some of your advice for the channel, and for joining me on Channel Futures TV.
Always great to be here, Craig. Thanks again.